Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Well, what have we here?
It's a podcast.
Fine.
And what excitement we have today.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
What the hell is going on here? Josh, are we okay? I was just checking.
That's what I'm
is that
checking
me?
on as well.
Is that
I'm
me?
here.
I'm trying to. Hello?
The internet
Hello?
tubes.
Not
Oh,
me.
you know what? Hold on. I think it might be me.
That's all right. We're joined with Nick. Nick, 2 decades that I haven't seen Nick, and he comes in and seamlessly joins us on the show. We have an issue that we have to deal with here before we could always start again. We could always start over.
Well, I'm looking for the echo.
Hello.
Trying to figure out where it's coming from.
Okay.
Is there an echo now?
There it
Hello.
is.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, the echo is still there.
All right.
All right, so now
How
we're just
about
going to
now?
mute each other. Any
One.
echo now?
One. Gone.
It's gone.
Gone. Awesome. We don't have to
All
restart.
right, good.
That's good.
Did you change something, Nick?
Can Nick hear us?
I'm like changing my volume on my headphones a little bit.
All right, well, that seemed to clear the echo.
Okay.
Hello, 1 2 1 2. Yeah, good. Yeah, that
Do
was.
you want to restart or just roll?
No, it's a podcast. Who gives a shit?
It's a live show.
So yeah, you know what? Can I just start with a compliment for your Korean dad, Nick Cho, who has really seamlessly kind of popped in this week to help, and I knew he would. That's why Nick. It's really important for you to know this fact. This wasn't done for any other reason than you came on the show and you were so chill and you fit in so seamlessly and you had a little show history, which was great as well. But I kind of knew that it would be like yesterday would be, where we just chat with you. And, it was just cool for me because nothing makes me happier other than people saying I went through a tough time and I listened to you. That I love. But what I also love right behind it is people that have been interns on the show, that have come through the show, that have worked on the show, whatever incarnation it's been, and gone on to do other things and done it successfully. That gives me tremendous satisfaction, and you're in that category as well. So my question to you would be, you do something totally different than I do every day. How did you enjoy it? How did you feel about it? And I want you, and you're an honest guy, and I want a brutally honest answer. Did you, the experience of coming in and sitting in for an entire show where you're carrying that suitcase, how did you find the experience yesterday?
I mean, first of all, again, thanks for all the kind words. I mean, I'll say right back at you that the thing for me is to sit here with you like this. Now, there's a couple thoughts that come to mind. One is that through my influencer work, I've met enough celebrities and famous people to where like a lot of the kind of starstruck sort of feelings and things like that has kind of gone away. Now I've met so many people and actually become friends with people that I used to, admire on movie screens and stuff like that. Which is
really
yeah.
I didn't know that your world took you there. Could you? I know you're not a humble bragger. Could you drop a name or two on us? Because I've always been would there be a luminary that come across your path?
There are people who I've met. There are people who I have rapport with. Like if I send them a DM, like we'll mix it up and we'll talk. Mm-hmm. And then there are people who we've had lunch or dinner or coffee, kind of thing. I've met a lot of people. As far as
does the California connection help you a little bit with that?
You know what it is more than that? It's actually the Asian American thing. It's that like the Asian Americans in entertainment thing is a smaller community, and so there is a little bit of like game recognized game, like I see you kind of thing.
That's interesting. Interesting.
Like I actually have the pass hanging on the lamp behind me because it was a really fun memory. But I went to the premiere. We were talking about Marvel movies yesterday a little bit toward the end of the show. Simu Liu, who was Shang-Chi,
Is this a Marvel
Okay.
movie?
Yes, that's a Marvel character. Yes.
Mike has he has
Yes.
that look on your face. It's like,
The Marvel character with rings.
I told you I am.
Yes.
I am. I am so
what did you just call me?
completely. I am so completely out of touch
It's
when it
okay.
comes to the Marvel universe. Now, if you'd mentioned, since you're talking about the Asian connection, if you'd mentioned the blockbuster Crazy Rich Asians, that would be, I would track with that one. Have you ever met Aquafina?
I have not met Aquafina. I
Mm-hmm.
could meet Aquafina next week at an event that I've been invited to. I'm contemplating whether I'm going to go or not.
Tell her, if you meet her, tell her I'm a huge fan, please.
I will say, I discovered this recently on the internet. No, this is the weirdest story. My younger daughter graduated from high school. Her mom, my first wife, my ex-wife, flew down from Seattle to come for the graduation party and stuff like that. And my ex-wife turns to me at some point and says, "How did you like being mentioned on that Aquafina show?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "Nora from Queens. There's a series that Aquafina did that she like created and is the star of."
I hope she gets more acting gigs because I think she's absolutely amazing. I think she's phenomenal.
What are you talking about? And she's got a great voice, right? Especially you being a voice guy, you got to appreciate.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, absolutely,
vocal
absolutely, right.
And so I pull up the show, kind of do a quick search, and sure enough, Bowen Yang from SNL, it mentions like, and blah blah blah, your Korean dad guy from TikTok, the guy who says, "Hey, I'm your Korean dad," and I'm just like blown away.
Were they positive about you?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It was just like a cute little kind of mention, in the same sentence as Tony Robbins, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I would also imagine, based on the content I've seen that you do, that you would. I would think you would be low on the hater scale. That you wouldn't catch a tremendous amount of grief.
That's-
Even in my tiny little level compared to what you do. I mean, I have websites dedicated to hating on me. I literally have that, and I still have that, and and it just, you have to kind of force yourself to go. Any pub's good pub. Hey, if they're talking about you, they're listening. Yeah, blah blah blah. But still, with what you do, it's just so decent and kind and positive in a way that I would imagine that would, you don't get a lot of haters, do you?
You are actually right, and it's kind of a weird topic because I have other friends of makes either similar content but maybe are women,
Mhm.
and they get all kinds of weird creepy stuff
Yeah.
that I don't have to deal with.
Right.
But let me get back to the original thing you're asking about, the experiences of being here
Celebs.
yesterday. I remember very distinctly, especially because there's that certain age range in your early 20s, like late teens, where like your brain is especially spongy and you like things happen, you can really remember them really vividly. That I remember always being nervous around you, and
I remember you just make me laugh. You're funny, even when you talk like that. When you say that, even being nervous around me. But see, when you talk about that particular era, I mean, there was a dickish era that was just where we were swinging dicks, and
Well,
I
because
think you were probably there right when that was happening.
because that was peak. That
Yeah.
was peak, like time for that kind of format, that industry. Like every town had the kings of the local radio
They did.
airwaves.
Absolutely, it was a great time in radio.
And I think that you guys made a great case for being the kings of DC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did well. We did well, and it was. It's just when you hear something like that, you're just. It's like when you came on the first time, and I asked you. I said, "Was it okay? Were we okay?"
Well, but that's mixed up in the fact that, like, again, I mentioned that first appearance last week that I heard you guys on the WAVA show when I woke up, for seventh grade to get ready for the bus. Like, you were rock stars for me in that sort of way. And so that all said, sitting here like this with you, even if I think we were in person, I'd be just as comfortable. That comes with age and maturity and experience. Again, having met a lot of folks and being able to kind of, shake off a lot of those feelings and realize, fundamentally for me, it's been about seeing the person behind the persona, realizing that we're all just regular people. Some people just have weird jobs,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And so that's a big part of it, and a big part of my experience and just reflecting on, this experience. The other part of it, which I think is more interesting, is that like, you're like, as far as this kind of thing, as far as talk and, making each other laugh and telling stories, I mean, you are a formative part of my upbringing. And that's not an overstatement for
So
me to say
sorry.
that.
So very sorry. Can't tell you
Like,
how sorry I am.
if
So sad. It's so very sad.
you
to
did some damage to other young people, like you didn't do it to me.
me.
So I'd be
when you get acknowledged out in public, is there an average way people and that's a dumb question. Wait, I'm going to reframe the question because I wouldn't like that question myself. When you get approached,
no, that's actually a good question.
with the nature of what you do, what is there a consistency to it? Do people approach you a similar way most of the time?
There's a range of things.
Okay.
I mean, of course, the first level is like, I'll get a certain kind of look, and I'll wonder, like, are they recognizing me? Are they going to approach? I've had people come up and say, like, this is the thing that's fun. People will say, "Are you on TikTok?" That's sort of like a kind of feeling out kind of version of it. Some people will just say, like, "Are you the Korean dad?" Some people will say, like, "Are you my Korean dad? Are you our Korean dad?"
That's got to feel cool. I would,
and also, like, some people will say, like, "Are you Nick Cho?" But and then it's usually a nice conversation. I've had to learn how to do this better. I think at first it really threw me off because and maybe you've experienced this a lot too. When people come up, like, sometimes, like, I don't know what they want. And I do have a people pleaser side to me, to where, like, I want to make them happy.
Right.
I want to give them a good experience of meeting me, but I don't know what they want. You talk about having websites that dedicated to you. I don't know how serious you are about that.
There's there have been it's minimal, but it's been because I'm minimal, but it's like it's significant enough where if I was to linger in there, it would be painful, and they're in different spots around the interverse. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
So I had an experience when I was working on the Don and Mike show with you, where it was I think it was Elvis. Rob would be helpful here, but I think it was Elvis' death day. I was dressed up in an Elvis suit sent to the local Krispy Kreme in Alexandria, Virginia. And I remember sitting there and just like having like, the adrenaline coursing through my veins and just being nervous. And this was back in the day. This is like 96. So there was no, FaceTime digital connection. It was
Right.
like, it was an analog
Mhm.
cell phone, right? Like back in the day, I remember, that experience. And then, having things kind of, I'd call in on the phone. And I'm sitting there at this donut shop counter, dressed up like Elvis, and there's this guy sitting across from me, like staring at me, like with this big, like,
I know the look.
and he's like trying to engage with me, but I'm new at this game, like I'm stressed. So I'm going inward and like trying to think, oh, if they call me again and they come back to me, like I got to have some funny and interesting things to say.
Patter.
So, like, I'm working on that in my head. And so he's like, hey, I'm like, hi, so I kind of like, I didn't blow him off, but I wasn't very friendly to him. That night I go home, and on like the primitive 1996 internet, it was like a Usenet group or something. I'm like, I see this post that's like, I drove 2 hours to see Nick Cho.
Oh no!
Such a dick.
That's the way it goes. That is the way it goes.
When I talk about formative, like that experience sticks with me so.
If
vividly.
you're remembering it from 1996, I would imagine so.
Well,
That's pretty significant.
It was a disappointment. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people would have read that post and been like, "F that guy," kind of thing. But
some
for me,
do. Some people get excited because I knew it. I knew he'd be a dick.
But for me, when I read that, it was like, and this is a lot of the way that my mind works and informs my politics and my values and everything, is like, I can see how both things are true. I was going through my experience. That's what that guy experienced.
Right.
He's just, talking about what he's experiencing. And so, it really, as I kind of got TikTok famous, it made me really think about, like, what do I want? What kind of experiences do I want people to have? And so, but that all said, like, all these little things are accumulations of experiences and things I've learned and things I've learned not to do, and lessons that I've learned. And it is kind of amazing, if you don't mind me saying, to think about how many of those lessons were learned working with you.
So how did you like the full co-hosting gig, which is nothing, it's really not like what you do. You prepare your stuff and in a much different way. How did you find the experience yesterday of doing that?
It's been fun. I mean, I've been wanting to do a podcast, like host a podcast.
Mm-hmm. You'd be good at it. You'd be very good at it.
And I think the one that I had before I was pretty good at, and running it totally solo on my own,
right?
With a co-host, but he would just, as we talked about, he'd just show up.
Well, when you work collaboratively over the years with enough different people, you find there are people that do that, and that comes into the pleasing part. If you're a pleaser, you end up. And I'm fortunate enough where I work with, I've worked with pleasers, and I've worked with non-pleasers too that don't give a rat's ass, and that's the challenge when that happens. But when people are pleasers, they're helpful. And fortunately, working with Rob, Rob is the uber pleaser. So it's doing that. And then Josh, what's great about Josh is new to our podcast. Josh is I haven't worked with a lot of people like Josh. Josh is a kind of unique and just but he's a doer. He just does stuff, and it's been refreshing. So that's a compliment for you too, Josh, that you just kind of get stuff done. I wouldn't call you a on fire personality, but you are, you're somebody that just gets the job done, and you can communicate in this medium as well. Yeah. But the honesty is what I love, and that was like right out of the gate. So that's kind of a good balance that we have on this show right now. So I'm enjoying it.
It works well.
Yeah, and it's keeping it's keeping me alive, keeping me chugging along. I love it.
And what's also rare about Josh, you don't see a lot of faux hawks these days.
You don't see faux hawks. You really don't. You don't see that. Look at that thing.
Yeah, it's coming back.
It's coming back. You bringing it back, Josh? Are you bringing it back?
Well, I noticed after visiting my brother-in-law for Baltimore, I then saw him in the Outer Banks, and he had a similar haircut.
Ah, there you go. So you influenced your own brother. There it is, close to home.
But Nick, I do think you would be perfect for an advice-based podcast.
It's one of the things we talked about. I'll share a little bit, and I don't know how this is going to land, but I'll share it anyway because it's the honest sort of experience. Like being in this space of being an influencer and having millions of followers and all that kind of stuff. We talk about this about social media and technology. Things are moving so fast, like the culture can't keep up. And that's true about so many things. And I think it's important for people to keep that in mind. It's just like if your car is going at 90 miles per hour, you better know you're going at 90 miles per hour so that you carry yourself accordingly. With the influencer thing, Hollywood, so as I moved to LA and even before I moved to LA, like taking meetings, I've had 20 something meetings about developing a TV show of some kind, and all kinds of different TV shows. And talked about podcasts, and I have some projects that are in the works more now as I've sort of pivoted, especially in light of like a lot of the Hollywood work slowdown and stuff like that.
Your first TV project was wildly successful. I don't know if anybody, well, most people know it. Squid Game was really there. It is. I had to get one in. That's the first one in 2 days that I've done.
Reference. I
don't even.
There's a little salute back at you.
It's good. Yeah, kill them all. That was boy, that was something else. But go ahead. I interrupted. I'm sorry. I
No,
had to do
but
shtick.
having all these meetings and things like that, and with TV producers and development producers and whoever, and heads of production companies, and the thing that is universal in all those meetings is every time I've had a meeting with them, behind their eyes, they have this, what the F am I doing with you? What are we doing here? Kind of feeling,
That the people talking to you.
Yes, that they don't really know. Like, they know that the influencer thing is really popular and that could be lucrative if done well. There's an opportunity here. There's a gold mine of some kind. All that sort of stuff. There's an opportunity,
right?
But
well, they look at your
also,
numbers, right? I mean, they look at your numbers, and that's
exactly.
and they look at
they drool
yeah,
at the numbers.
Sure, absolutely.
And the potential, there's potential in, social media and things like that being sort of a discovery, kind of like a talent scouting sort of function too, right?
Yeah,
So,
I get it.
So all these sorts of things. They're like, oh, we love what you do, but there's this thing called Hollywood Nice. Are you familiar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's like, oh, you're great. You're gonna do great.
Yeah.
We're gonna love to work with you. We're gonna figure something out.
Soul crushing environment out there for that. I mean, really, and so first of all, let's throw out all the people like my daughter that have gone out there and have not gotten the break. But when you do get the break, the level of soul crushing bullshit that you have to endure, even to get a project done, and then it's only the beginning. And it's just, and Hollywood Nice is just, yeah. And because they are, because most of them, I'm sorry to say this, but I do believe this, and this goes for radio executives as well, are dead inside. You are meat. You're going into a lion's den, and they're looking at you, and this ought to taste good. I hope this can sustain us. That's really what you are.
It's the numbers.
You're a commodity. And that's why they're thinking, hey, this might be something. So if you're looking for anything genuine, like somebody who really likes you for you, or likes your work to a degree where that's hard to find. So that's kind of why you probably experience that.
It is hard to find, but it's like people who are out, dating, right? It's like there's always the hope that you're going to meet like a soulmate of some kind and connect in certain kind of like meeting of the minds, sufficiently so to where it's like you can make something happen. I mean, the Hollywood Nice thing, I think for people listening, like, I don't want people to think that it's just like this big bullshit sort of machine. What I've come to realize is that it's about keeping the doors open. Whereas like maybe the culture around New York City is like slamming doors in your face. Like, the culture, business culture.
I know what you're saying, where
in LA,
we can't really step on anybody because you just never know.
Right.
Don't burn your bridges is what
Exactly.
it is. Whereas it's a smaller, exponentially smaller community of show business in New York. And so it's done a little bit, really, if you talk about, I know all this, not based on me, even though I've taken meetings with TV people in the past out in Los Angeles. The idea, I get this through my daughter, who auditions and auditions and auditions and auditions and auditions. And the theater community in New York in many ways is harsher than the other entities with television and film out in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you come from a different world, and you come with your own cred, as it were, to go into these things. But I would imagine if you're distrustful of a lot of it. That's what I would think you would have, right? You would have that kind of mistrust. That when you say behind their eyes, they're saying, "What are we doing here?" I mean, I can see where you would have that.
Well, for me, it's actually less about distrust. It's more about trying to size up the situation, like on both like a micro and macro scale. In other words, like they're looking at me trying to figure out like, what the hell am I doing here? Because this internet, like social media, TikTok thing happened. Like, I mean, it literally happened 3 years ago, right? And so all these like TikTok famous kids and people and me and like others are dropping out of the sky. And then the entertainment folks are like, I guess we got to deal with these people now too.
That's true, though.
And,
That's
and,
true.
and they don't know, and no one from like this world has really made it big off the platform. In other words, no one's really crossed over into Hollywood TV movies, whatever,
Right.
successfully yet. And so it's literally feels like month after month, like that door was closing more and more, also because there wasn't a track record of success. There was a track record of failures. There were these like content influencer house shows and the Charlie D'Amelio show.
Okay.
Like,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get it.
You can't point to the Kardashians and say, like, no, see, like influencer show. That's a whole different category.
Different world, different thing.
Different
so with the
world.
failures, and if there had been more successes, then of course you get that whole copycat frenzy that goes on.
Yes.
So you're saying that really hasn't happened that much with people that qualify. Well, how many people that aren't influencers call themselves influencers?
Right. I mean,
so that's you're kind of so you feel like that window of opportunity is because there haven't been the overwhelming successes is not there as much as it may have been in the past.
I mean, I subscribe to the LA Times out here, and I mean it's front page news at least on the website about the Hollywood work slowdown, like things have dropped like 15-20%. I went and saw a showbiz friend of mine, she's a stand-up comedian and comedy writer. I went to go see them last night up in LA, and she's trying to figure out work stuff. Like everyone's kind of struggling right now, except for those who aren't. But that's how America kind of is.
Well, it probably. I think when you talk about COVID affecting different industries, show business was. And then we had a writer's strike, and then we had an actor's strike, and
it's
then
Netflix.
It's and
Netflix has ruined everything.
Netflix has destroyed the world, but that's where we're getting our content. But that it used to be
model.
Used to be 20 different places where you would have movies produced and big studios with multiple projects, and it's not there anymore. And I think the quality suffers, I mean, now I know you guys don't get mad at me, but getting back to the whole Marvel thing, Jesus Christ, can we have another comic book movie because it does bank? I mean, I go to Despicable Me with my kid and watch the trailers, and I'm like, oh God. Isn't anybody bored with this crap yet? Isn't anybody tired of this yet with this, CGI, artificial violence, superhero garbage? But so far, that seems to be what's getting made out there. Like Deadpool and Wolverine. Whoopee! Yay. Maybe I'm old. I'm sorry. That might just be it.
The business is ultimately very conservative. Like, fiscally conservative. They're looking for safe bets. One thing that I find myself talking about a lot lately in the past, few years is that, when you enter a space where people are doing their job, what you start to realize, at least for me, is, there's a certain amount of people who there's a certain amount of work people are doing to like do their job, and there's a certain amount of work people are doing to keep their job.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain situations, and we can all think of them, where you meet somebody who's, either at your own job or something, and most of their job is just keeping their job. Most of their day and most of their effort is just keeping their job.
In this entity, Nick, I can tell you that what I do is doing my job each and every day. What Josh does is trying to allow me to keep my job every day. Would that be fair, Josh? Would that be a fair assessment of what you do?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I allow you to come on the mic and do what you want, and I handle all the stuff behind the scenes.
The stuff that, and it's tough out there. It's tough. Everybody wants a piece of that. I see though, on my feeds most recently, as I try to do what Rob does, and I'm getting everybody more involved with curating video for this program because that's the direction I'd like to see the show move in. I would. That's just it. We still have, we're still an audio product primarily, but I still like to. It's what I like to do. I'm looking at you. I like the visual aspect of what we do,
and it's where the world's going.
It's the direction the world is going in anyway, and I like it. what you have to do sometimes when you're curating this stuff is you have to negotiate through what the internet wants to feed you, because they feed you things. And this says something about me and my wife and everything else. What they're feeding me now. I am inundated with side hustles every single day. But it got me thinking today that with this economy that we live in right now, I think the side hustles, based on population and everything else, I think the side hustles allow room for everybody to kind of thrive, where the economic models of the old days used to be, hey, the plumber goes to school, he learns how to be a plumber, he gets a lot of people that he does plumbing for, whereas now this creature we're talking to you on now, this AI it's all changing, as Nick said, at the speed of light. But I have a sense, and this is me, check this box off. This is yours truly being hopeful for a second. I think the future, once it gets in everybody's DNA, I think the future is on the internet. Things are going to be okay, because we're all going to be able to feed each other. Am I wrong about that? You're laughing at me. I don't know. I think
I'm not laughing. I'm laughing with you.
Okay.
I see your point, and obviously, like there's a lot of truth to what you're saying. I think there's a cynical version of it also, which is like, you're saying like, yeah, we're gonna have all these side hustles, and eventually we'll just have a Thunderdome where we all come with our spiked helmets and stuff, and that'll be our entertainment. And this post-apocalyptic world's gonna be great.
It's gonna be fantastic. And then a guy's gonna wear a hockey mask and gonna strap somebody with ropes to the front of his vehicle that runs on ethanol, and it's gonna be exciting. No, I believe that people evolve, and when I look at all these people being creative, at least what I'm getting, the people that are being creative are offering services and products to other people, and there's room. That's the way I'm looking at it. There's room for everybody. There's room for everybody to do this, where I buy this product, and not only the guy that, the big fat cat that's sitting in the factory is getting some money out of it, but the people that make him known to, it's so large, it's vast. And that's what I think will help people out. I know this is heavy duty stuff, but
it's also the side hustle push is also a get rich quick scheme.
It is.
They're definitely promoting it that way.
It is, and I think that's wrong. I think, and I agree with you that a lot of people out there, because the people, beware that the people telling you about the side hustle are getting rich by promoting the side hustle.
Right.
So that's been around for a million years.
And there's
a
bunch of stories now about girls who went to OnlyFans because they were told they'd make tons of money.
Right.
And they put everything out there and aren't making ends meet.
Well, because maybe Josh, what they put out there was not what they should put out there.
Or there's too much.
Right. I mean, it's still, it depends on the individual, really. I think just, anybody, I'm not going down this road, because I will get in trouble if I go down this road, But
any one of these sort of environments or platforms or industries, right? They kind of dangle this dream of, what success looks like. Mm-hmm. And then, you have thousands, if not millions of people who are like, okay, I'm going to vie for that, that prize. And that helps feed an economy. You have kids.
I think there's potential for that. That's my positive, hopeful side that feels that. But I myself, I'm always looking for a little something new. And it's why I can say it here right now. It's a new thing for me, but I am learning Korean. There you go. I am learning Korean, and we will see. Thank you. There is breaking news. Josh, if you can get the latest on it, because I believe that, oh my God, that's loud. The Vice President, Kamala Harris, has selected a running mate. That's new as we come to this show this morning. It has already happened, and we will do that and talk about that and have you all, break that down. I'll use the word, we'll unpack it. We'll unpack it when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. But first, let me tell you about a wonderful product. I love this product, laundry sauce. It's right here. And there's nothing like doing a laundry sauce commercial while I am sniffing my laundry sauce dryer sheets. Oh, my God. Listen, The laundry detergent we use in the O'Mara house used to come in a big stupid jug, and the smell was meh. Didn't care for it. A little medicinal, not medicinal. It just didn't smell that good. That's why I switched to laundry sauce. Now, not only do I have the dryer sheets, but I got the little pods right here. Do not eat. Do not eat. Laundry sauce has partnered with one of the great fragrance houses in the world, and it smells amazing. Hard to smell through the plastic. They've stripped away all the unnecessary ingredients, and they maximized hardworking stain fighters to ensure your favorite clothes come out looking brand new. And it's not just pods. Laundry sauce makes scent boosters, dryer sheets that I just showed you, dryer balls, fabric softeners, even candles. Plus, if you aren't happy, send back your laundry sauce for a full refund. Yeah, I can smell it. No questions asked. Come smell me in Las Vegas. Elevate your laundry with laundry sauce. Now is the time to check it out. Head to laundrysauce.com/TMOS and use promo code TMOS at checkout for 15% off. That's the best offer you'll find, but you must use our code TMOS. 15% off. laundrysauce.com/TMOS. Promo code TMOS for 15% off. All right. I got to do the thing, right? I got to do the news thing. There we go. There it is. Sorry. I got discombobulated because I wanted to start with something I do not have prepared in the news today. I wanted to find out, has Kamala Harris settled on the governor of Minnesota? Is that the truth? There he is.
Yes, there he is. Tim Walz.
Tim Walz. I love the choice. I'll tell you why I love the choice. I didn't. The Shapiro out of Pennsylvania. Yeah, how political are you, Nick? How political do you get?
Very, very political.
Very political. Okay.
Yes.
I don't even know what team you play for, but I will ask you what do you think? What do you think of the choice? Are you happy with the choice? I think the choice is kind of cool.
I think he's cool. I mean, it's interesting. You know, Tim Walz was the guy, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I've been trying to track this, like, who started this whole, like, the Republicans are weird.
They give him credit for it. They give him credit for the whole weird thing. I have to say, as this pick has come through, of all of the potential Veeps or the potential running mates for Kamala Harris, he might be the one I know the least about. But there's something immediately when I saw him speak that I got a kind of a good vibe about. I kind of like the guy.
He has a certain type of familiarity, like we've seen him before, even if you haven't seen him before, kind of thing. I mean, he vaguely looks like, I don't know what, Tim Conway.
Looks like Dick Cheney, really, a little
bit. Dick Cheney.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a certain kind of balding, white guy. I mean, he could even be from a distance, like
what? Like what, Nick? Like what? What is he? What is he like?
Our current president's like stunt double, right? Like,
he could, yeah. And that's not, to give that kind of comfort to the old farts out there. We will wait to see. I think that yes, go ahead.
Well, he
Josh.
lines up on a lot of the same issues with Kamala,
right?
That, where Shapiro kind of some things were going to set her base off. This kind of strengthens her base.
Yeah, the Shapiro, they said he sounded a little like Barack Obama. I didn't think so when I heard him speak, and I don't know. I just
I see that more out of the governor of Maryland.
The governor of Maryland,
Wes Moore.
Okay, all right.
They're pushing him on that Barack track.
Okay, all right. That's interesting. So we this guy, get ready. Get ready for the media frenzy on this dude. We'll see what happens. But Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, named the running mate for Kamala Harris, and they're going to be doing a world tour. Yes, go ahead,
Josh. It's Kamala.
Yes, I know. I'm working on that.
You're saying it the Republican way.
Well, he is a Republican. Yeah, we have a balance. We have a balance.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
it is. But maybe it's even more important to say. It's
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there it is. But we get that where I play golf down here. Kamala.
Yeah.
I mean, all the time. We will see as time goes on. We will find out more about him. And these people are really, really vetted, and he's been in the spotlight for a long time. So it will be interesting to see how he is received, and what the data is that comes out. I get a good kind of vibe. Get a grandfatherly little vibe out of the guy. How old is he? Do we know how old he is? Yeah, we can find that out.
Let's see. I can find out.
He's 23.
His first term as governor is when the George Floyd riots happened. So there's
Okay.
going to be a lot of talk about that. And he is 60 years old.
He's 60 years old. I mean, I think he's cool when
I look younger than he does.
Yes.
Yes,
He looks older than 60.
That's awesome.
Skincare.
I love looking younger. And this is real. It's thinning, but it's real. This is not colored. This is not colored hair up here. There you go. How about that? Huh?
For 50 years old, I'm doing pretty good. I still have like almost pretty much nothing.
That's that you have you're a very young looking 50.
Yes,
You know?
I know.
Congratulations.
Tim Walz is cool. Congratulations to him.
Mhm.
I think when we first heard the Joe Biden dropping out and the Kamala was stepping up news, I think that we kept thinking like anyone who's really politically engaged, like the obvious choice is going to be an older white guy. It's fun to at least imagine someone who's not. And so I think at first our minds kind of went to Gretchen Whitmer, governor of Michigan, would have been kind of interesting. The sort of balls of having two women on the ticket. And just being like,
unfortunately, it doesn't work in the political arena.
Yeah, it's sad that you can never pick who you think would be best. You have to do the math and analysis of what will make you win.
And the credentials for Mark Kelly, the senator from Arizona, with the courage of an astronaut. But there was a part of me when I looked at the guy, and I'm sorry, I hate to be so superficial, but when I looked at the guy, I thought that maybe he was an alien. I'm sorry, I just feel like someone invaded his body when he was in space, and maybe he would like. I don't know. Let's get to the rest of the news, and because I want to talk about something much more important than the vice presidential choice in the election. French pole vaulter, we had him yesterday on the news. Anthony Ammirati. His bulge may have betrayed him at the Olympics, but it could make him big money on the internet.
I hope so.
Internet. The porn site, I am not familiar with this one, and I like to think I know many of them. Cam Soda. Are you familiar with that, Nick? Do you know that one? Cam Soda? Have you ever heard of that?
Maybe.
Okay. They've offered him $250,000 to do a 60-minute webcam show.
All right. That is a sex site.
Yeah. It's a porn site.
Did you say
It's
porn site?
Yeah,
Okay.
porn site.
All right. It is just live cams.
Live cams. Okay, they've offered him $250,000 to do a 60-minute webcam show where he shows his pole to the world. As usual, it's pretty unlikely this would happen, and Cam Soda knows that. Porn sites do this stuff all the time just to get attention, and they have, because I'm talking about it right now. So, Mr. Camarati or Amirati or whatever your name is, way to go. Good pole vaulter. Didn't clear the bar, though. That's the most important thing when you talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. Moving right along, Brooke Shields. I bring this to your attention because there, to me, is a creep factor of creep factors to this. She is auctioning off the Calvin Klein jeans she wore in the infamous ad campaign all the way back in 1980 when she was 15 years old. They are valued at $50,000. Brooke says, quote, "Can you imagine my waist was ever that small? It's terrifying. This is just weird. This is but I hope that somebody enjoys these just as much as I have and finds them as meaningful as I do. I can't wait for someone to show these off." So Brooke is communicating like these are going to be purchased by a young woman who will wear them, whereas I think
this is a man.
that there will be a dude, some creep out there that puts it either on his wall, and I find that a little odd. Or maybe that's just the way my brain goes. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, let's hope that doesn't happen. But I mean, you're right. Like, you never know. Thinking things through, like unintended consequences. you just never know. But on the flip side, of course, it's like, hats off to Brooke Shields. She sees an opportunity here. She's doing it from looking straight ahead, very pure of heart. In her approach. I'm sure she's not.
At least it sounds like that, Nick. You know,
Right.
I'm a cynic, so I don't trust anyone. I really do. It's like I think she's doing it for the money. And she's like sitting there. She might say that in public with, I hope somebody wears them that can show them off and show them where with her team. You know, a bunch of guys with cigars going, there'll be some creep that'll pay $300,000 for these, Brooke.
Yeah, they're expecting $50K.
Yeah,
for them.
$50,000.
So some
Yes.
creep is going to have to come out and say he's a creep by spending this money.
Or if they would, I would say that they would be put in a museum of television history or advertising or something like that, right?
That's possible.
They could do that. I'm still waiting for Marky Mark's briefs. That's the one. I'll be bidding on that one. I am saving up right now. That's the way that goes. This is an interesting theory. It comes from a dubious source, however. Death Row Records founder Suge Knight. In his podcast, which he hosts from prison. See, anybody can host a podcast. Anybody can do it, baby. Suge suggested that he knows why Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez broke up. Would you like Suge's take on this?
Please.
Suge says it's because the FBI showed Ben incriminating materials that they picked up from their raid on Diddy's house. Remember, J-Lo dated Diddy from 1999 to 2001. And if Diddy really is in all the freaky stuff feds are investigating him for, maybe Jennifer was into it with him when they were together. This is a big stretch right here. Suge says, quote, they go raid Puffy's house and they get all these videos of J-Lo doing this and J-Lo doing that. He also thinks they tipped Ben off that J-Lo lied about the 1999 nightclub shooting where a rapper named Shine went to prison, even though some people think Diddy was responsible. So why would federal agents go out of their way to contact Ben, Suge? I'd like to know the answer to that. Well, he's got an answer for that. He said, it's a white man who got respect in the white world. I'm quite sure they said, we want to show you some things about your wife. Sounds like he's having maybe a tough time in prison. But he gets to do it. I didn't know you could do a podcast from prison. How
Yeah,
cool is that, right?
You have to like hide the microphone up your.
I assume
There's,
you can do it like in
there's
the library
Nick
time.
coming through. That's the old Nick coming right through. Where's your webcam? Dope. There we are. Kind of weird. Just kind of a weird theory. But do you think we will ever have it exposed what was Diddy in the parties and stuff? Because there's tons of allegations here, you know?
Well, there was that big police raid,
Right.
like, a couple months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. How long
Yeah.
has it been now? And we haven't really heard, exactly what's going on with that investigation. Whatever.
Yeah, nobody really knows. Is it, is it trafficking? We'll have to wait and see if there's anything that comes out from that. The American Friendship Project looked into how many friends the average American has in 2024. I thought this would be a wonderful, and I'm talking about real friends, and how it compares to 50 years ago. Even though we're all overworked and constantly online now, not much has changed. The average American has 4 to 5 people they consider to be true friends. That's pretty much in line with every year since 1970. Only 2% said they have no friends, which is also about the same. One thing we do wish we had more of, though, is additional time with friends. I would put myself in that category. Most people say they're good with the number of friends they have. I would say I am not. I wouldn't mind a few more close friends. This business does not lend itself, in my humble opinion, to having really close friends. But that might be a cop-out on my part. 42% aren't as close with their friends as they'd like to be. Do you have a lot of friends, Nick? I'm curious.
I have a good number of friends.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that, this is a whole thing, but like there are elements of my personality, especially in terms of emotional connection, that I feel like I have more in common with women than men most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of women friends.
Okay.
Like, most of my good friends have been women, like, throughout my life. And but being a straight guy and whatever, like, sometimes it gets complicated. I think that this is something that's been really important to me as a topic, is like how men view relationships and emotional things, like, of all different sorts. And I think the friend thing is really important. I was going through something recently and I reached out to, 3 really close friends, 2 women and 1 guy. And the guy was the one who called me and we had a good chat. And I was just having to heart to heart and realizing like, oh, us being for each other in this sort of way, it not only does it feel good, but it also feels kind of rare. And so it's definitely the sort of thing where it's like, how can we get people reaching out more, connecting more, having more of those deep friendships? And I think for a lot of, especially for men, it's taking that leap, just trusting like, you know what, if they called me, I'd appreciate it. I'm gonna just call them up.
It's effort. It's effort. And I think that Carla, at one point, and she said it to me multiple times, and the exchange always goes the same way. Carla says, Mike, in order to have a friend, you have to be a friend. And I always look at her and I go, nope. That's just the way it goes every time. We told you about new AI companion. It's a new AI companion necklace. This is our final story today that keeps you company if you don't have actual friends. But a new study found that that's not really the case for most people. So as far as I am concerned, the totals that we have for this, the last story we're talking about here with friends, you have to have, I would say probably I have two close friends. And I think I'm stretching that, and I find that pathetic. If you had to put a number on it, I'm talking about close friends, people you could call in the middle of the night and would be there for you. What would you be able to give me a number on that, Nick?
That how many that I have, or what I think is
total, like a real number. Could you give it, or is it so many that you don't even want to put a number on it?
Wow. I mean, when you phrase it that way, like someone you call in the middle of the night, like it's like zero. Like I wouldn't if I cared about someone that much, like I wouldn't want to wake them up. Like I would just deal with it myself, kind of thing. But I would say, I mean, like I said, I was going through something. There were 3 people I reached out to.
3? Would that be 3 to 4? Would you be about the average, the national average?
Yeah, but I think that my next sort of like layer of friendships, I think there's a lot of people in there.
Not me. Not me.
Yeah.
Not me at all, really. I have thousands of acquaintances.
Right.
Thousands of acquaintances. Here's a good test for that. Josh, and we'll get to you. I want to get your number as well. This is how I would pull it. I would look at true friends in this category. This is a good test for this. How many people would you be willing to travel with, go on vacation with? That's the test. And I have one couple that falls into that category. We've been to I've been maybe two people that category
that you would go with, not just
that I have gone with, that visited the homes, they visited my home, that type of thing. And that's and that's a relatively new friend.
You said couples also.
Yes. In the case of the people that we are friendly with and we work at being friends with, that is a couple as well, because I love her and I love him. So that's it. Josh, how about you? What's your number?
My number's probably 5, 6, but they're all out of town.
Okay.
I haven't made any friends since I moved to Florida 5 years ago.
Yeah, no, I've got a tip for you. Go to a shooting range. That's a wonderful.
Okay.
I'm just joking. I'm sorry. That's doing shtick. Okay, we got to end this. All right. I don't know. Yes, go ahead, Nick.
Count is the new body count, right?
Yes, it is.
Let's talk about sexual partners, history. Like, how many close friends do you have that you travel with? Start a men's movement. I love it.
Do you have more friends than conquests? When you get old, that's a silly, stupid number. We'll take a break and we will come right back on the Mike O'Mara Show with something I have absolutely no idea what, but I have it written down, so I'll be able to catch up. Ladies and gentlemen, this section of the Mike O'Mara Show brought to you by Liquid IV. I am drinking, I forgot the name of it. I think it's in the spot. It's the sherbet flavor. It's the rainbow. It's rainbow sherbet, sugar-free, and it's absolutely wonderful.
Excellent technique.
Sorry about that. The heat of summer is here. Your favorite summer treat could be giving you extraordinary hydration. Folks, I play golf on the surface of the sun. 107-degree heat index. Get out there and try to do that if you live up north, they say. Liquid IV has refreshing summer flavors. popsicle firecracker, and the new sugar-free rainbow sherbet that hit the spot. It hits the spot when you need transformative relief all summer long. Indulge in hydration with electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powdered hydration brand in America, Liquid IV. The secret is LIV Hydroscience, the science-backed formula that's an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients to turn, I don't know why I'm using a New York accent, to turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. Check out 5 delicious sugar-free flavors: raspberry melon, rainbow sherbet, the one I'm drinking today, white peach, really probably my go-to. Green grape, lemon lime used to be my favorite flavor. Now it's white peach. And the return of fan favorite hydration multiplier, cotton candy. Cotton candy. I love them all. I love them dearly. Grab a variety pack. Fun. Tear, pour, live more. Indulge in hydration this summer with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use our code TMOS at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code TMOS at liquidiv.com. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are with Nick Cho, otherwise known as Your Korean Dad, who has generously given us his time this morning, and we are thrilled to have that. I know I have to. Yesterday, I had a little advice. I asked him a little golf advice, but this is my advice for that I require from Nick today because I am ready for summer to be over, so I can stop being a cruise director. And yes, it is the final days. How many days did you say, Josh, before we wrap it up?
4.
4 days.
Well, weekdays. Kids go back Monday.
They go back. My kid, I think, is next Thursday where he goes back to school. I don't know what the deal is out there on the coast, but it is. He's used up all of his activities. He had pathways to STEM at the beginning. Then he had a fitness nutrition type of camp where he was, for his athletics, where he was meh about it. And then there was another camp where they did something at the school. Then he did golf camp, and he was kind of hemming and hawing, but he loved it. He had a good time like he always does. Then the last 2-3 weeks have been Chateau Relaxo. Late nights with gaming and days sleeping in, even at 11 years old. And I wrote this down because my wife and I were discussing what we like to call the dance of neglect, where, we're just, the tank is empty, Nick. The tank is empty, and I'm taking him over to the batting cage thing where Josh takes his kid, place called D-Bat, where they can pitch and where they can bat, and he likes that. But there's a lot of relaxation where I'll be in my easy chair, and I'll hear stirring in the kitchen. I say, what are you doing? Making cookies. Okay, knock yourself out. Don't put anything poisonous in them. It's the dance of neglect a little bit, and I'm feeling a little guilty for it.
Fortnite's getting us through this last couple of weeks.
Without video games, I don't know what parents ever did. I do not know what parents ever did. My son is, I think it's called Rainbow Six or something. It's hyper violent. It really is. But yeah, once again, that's the dance of neglect.
Is he what they would call an iPad kid?
Let me bring him in.
I think every kid's an iPad kid.
I need you.
Well, there's certain kids that are a little like,
My 10-year-olds take their iPads everever're with them.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't. So he's not an iPad kid. He doesn't take his.
There you go.
Yeah,
but he's got a phone, right, that he travels with.
He's on his phone constantly.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get him again. I'll use the intercom system. Hold on. I've got the button right here. Michael, come here. He's coming. I heard.
Oh
that
yeah, I heard him.
Did you hear that? Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I even have a shot for him. I set up the camera so we can do. We can sit down. Let's bring him in here right now.
Prepubescent testosterone.
Let's find out. This is the lazy quest. They say. Did you have to put on a shirt on before you came in? Yeah, you had to put a shirt on. There you go. Okay.
That's a 10-year-old boy.
Let's bring him.
I got that issue here too.
Sit down. There. Say hi to Nick.
Hello.
Hi.
You hear him okay?
The microphone's not on.
Oh, sorry. That's my fault. Can you hear him okay?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
There you go.
That's good. Let me turn you down a little bit. Now we have it's terrible sound. It's my fault. Hi, say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Get up on the microphone a little bit, will you please? A little closer. Really close.
Hello.
There you go. Say
That's
hi to
better.
Nick.
Hello.
That's
Hi.
you know,
It's Mike.
you-
Michael. It's Michael, huh?
Yes.
Mike and Michael. Very, very good.
yeah, we do that. It's Mike. It's Michael. It's Mike. It's Michael.
That rolling shutter.
You're not an iPad kid, are you?
Do you think of yourself as an iPad kid?
No.
Are you a fan of Skibbity Toilet?
No.
But you say skibbity toilet. Can you sit down a little bit so we can get the shot the way we got it
Like
before the
this?
show? Yeah. Turn that down.
Like-
And now sit down a little more, no, a little lower. See, so you get your head in the shot. But you say skibbity. You can look at the screen when I'm talking to you. You say skibbity toilet all the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You say it, but see, this is again, Mike. There's the phrase that the kids can use, but when I say, "Do you like Skibbity Toilet?" and he says no, it's because he doesn't watch the YouTube stuff.
You don't watch the YouTube skibbity toilet. What do you watch now? What are you consuming? Look at the camera. What are you consuming every day?
Rainbow Six.
Into the microphone.
Rainbow Six Siege. I like watching people put together mini bikes like motorcycles.
Please. Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
And have you watched Your Korean Dad? Have
Yeah.
you watched clips of him? Mm-hmm. What do you think of him? What do you think of his stuff?
I like him.
What do you like about him?
Thanks.
He's just funny.
Oh, he's funny.
Seems like a nice guy.
He seems like he is a nice guy. He's a very nice guy. It's why he's on the show because I like him a lot. And he was a kid when I worked with him the last time. He was just a kid.
Well, young adult.
Yeah, he's 50. He's a young adult. But
Yes.
I call kids, anybody under 30, I call him a kid now. So,
Right, but for him, he's thinking like, was my dad like running a sweatshop? And
let me ask you, Michael, your language style. Mommy was talking about. She said something about your fingers the other day, and you said, "Up." Was that the dog?
Yeah.
Is Mommy home?
I don't know.
What the hell is going on? Check on the dogs.
Your dogs are getting in a fight.
God, what is that? That's like a dog. There's a dog fight.
Yeah.
Carla, what's happening here? The house is going crazy.
Apparently, Michael's been entertaining the dogs for hours.
this is
What?
the second breaking news after the Tim Waltz news is that there's
What's going on?
There's like people cleaning it and they.
Oh, okay. There are people working outside the house. The dogs are going out of there. Michael, the language. Mommy said you said something to her about Shut up, dogs! Mommy said you said something to her about fingers up your butt and around the corner.
I just made that up.
Oh, you made that one up. Okay. What are give me some language. Look at the camera. Give me some. Center your shot.
I can't.
Other way. Lean the other way. Michael, you're driving me nuts.
Right.
There you
No,
go. That's where I want.
I'm gonna stick up for Michael here, Mike.
Yes.
Actually, this is also a generational thing.
Okay.
for
with me
folks like
being
us,
older.
We're used to that sort of eye contact thing, like being sort of like a professional thing, talking
Right.
to the camera,
Right.
kind of
Right.
thing. But if you look at all the Gen Z and Gen Alpha content, they're looking off to the side. It's just what's the trendy sort of thing in the
Okay.
content.
All right.
We're talking
Good.
microphones. They're looking at each other, and the camera tends to be like this. I don't think he's doing that on purpose. But
Okay. All right. I'm not really yelling at him, am I? Am I yelling at you? Am I kind of yelling at you? Is that why your Korean dad was kind of like nurturing me there for a second because I was kind of saying, "Don't look in that direction." Yes, Josh, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I think this is a downtime for the 10-year-old slang because it's summer. They got to get back to school and get back together and all learn the new words on each other if you're not on YouTube constantly.
When we're in the car together, Michael will occasionally throw words out at me and ask me if I know them. Could you do any of the words that? Could you throw any? Are they all like not safe for broadcast?
No, they're fine.
Okay, go ahead. Lay one on me.
Are you Skibbity or Sigma?
I'm not sure. Do you know what that means, Nick? Skibbity or Sigma?
yes, I do.
Is it bad?
No.
Okay. Well, can someone explain it to me? You're all being quiet right now playing this game. I don't know what's going on.
I believe skippity is like you're weird or crazy, right?
Yeah.
I've heard both these
basically.
words around the house.
Yeah.
Am I Skibbity or Sigma?
Or Sigma is, on the other hand, it's like a good thing. I think just last year or even earlier this year, people might have talked about Riz.
Yeah,
You know?
Riz.
You talk about that one. I know.
Riz and Riz.
Something
is-
I have none of.
You have. Oh yes, you do. I think you have tons of Riz is like
Charisma to attract someone.
Charisma.
No,
you have plenty
you got-
of that.
You
know?
got Kid Riz, is what you're supposed to have now at your age. Is Kid Riz?
Kid Riz.
You can see
Yeah.
it. It's coming from you.
Doesn't he? Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
absolutely.
I think he's absolutely a delight to be around, and that to me is charisma. That's
Yes.
fantastic. Give
It
me another.
doesn't always feel like that when you're a kid. It takes like one other kid to make you feel like, oh, people aren't really happy to see me. But
Right.
then your eyes are pulled off everyone else who's so happy to see you all the time.
That's
I
cool.
like that you go straight into that Korean dad advice again.
Doesn't he? That
just
sweetness that
natural.
I don't
Yes.
have any. I do not possess that at all. I am a. Do you think, Michael? This is legitimate. You've watched him, and would you like Nick to be your dad?
I am. I'm your Korean.
Your Korean dad. All right, you can give us one more slang, and then you can get out of here and calm those beasts.
Can I throw one
down.
out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make Michael blush. Gyat.
You said that right? That's
Gyat.
gyat. Isn't that something with the butt or something
Gyat.
like that?
There's multiple levels of gyat.
What
There's a level 1 gyat that's flat.
is that a butt?
Yeah.
The gyat is the butt.
It's all
It's
butt
an acronym.
ratings. Yes.
Gyat.
It's an
And
acronym.
are we talking about someone that you're like attracted to because they've got a nice gyat? Is that what it is? No.
I think it was at first. So can we tell him what? I don't know if it's okay for me to ask an 11-year-old.
I'll take my headphones off.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you want me to ask him?
What GYAT actually stands for. It's an acronym.
Okay.
GYAT.
Yeah.
It stands for girl your ass thick.
But
Does he-
don't
I
think
heard
most
it.
Does he-
I heard it.
Oh wait, Michael didn't know this.
Did
I
you not
don't-
know that? Did you
most
not know that?
10-year-olds
Say it again. Say it again. It was
Girl, your ass thick.
No.
Well, I'm guessing that it probably would because gyat means butt, so it has to be related to something.
Okay, but
right?
you didn't know it
That's where it comes from.
specifically.
Right.
All right. And one last one. Do you want to give us the last one before you split? Because Nick had one, and you knew that one. Do you have one that he might know or not?
My favorite is you must be from Ohio.
Oh well, yeah.
Okay. What's that? Explain that to me.
Everything's wrong in Ohio.
Everything's wrong in Ohio. Nick, have you been familiar with that one out on the
Yes.
West Coast?
Ohio has become this sort of
Meme state.
meme state. I love that phrase. Meme
That's
state.
cool. That's neat. All right. Do you want to go deal with the dogs?
Sure.
Michael. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Say bye to Nick.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
There he goes. That's
Have a nice day.
That's
Goodbye,
my son.
duties.
Bye, duties. That's his signature closing line. We got to take a break, and when we come back, I will talk about deodorant. Isn't that exciting? It's the show you love, ladies and gentlemen. I know it is. We'll be right back on the Mike O'Mara Show, and I have no idea why the dogs are going completely and utter batshit. Now you can truly be your best thanks to DermGlowSkin.com. They make it so easy. Just complete the questionnaire, schedule a call to talk with a medical provider for approval, and the pharmacist fills your prescription, and it's delivered to your house. Boom. One injection once a week, and get ready to lose 21 to 26% of your weight, along with improving your blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. It's FDA approved, and the results are real. I can tell you that because I've done it myself. DermGlowSkin.com offers semaglutide and terzipatide for weight loss, in addition to NAD+, vitamin B12, sermorelin, and PT141. How about all that stuff? God, jeez. So whether you crave a sexual boost, a cognitive boost, what? Or reduced inflammation. Ow! DermGlowSkin.com has got you covered. Get it shipped to your door. Get excited, ladies and gentlemen. Please do. And get skinny for Las Vegas. Get excited. Feel like yourself again. DermGlowSkin.com. Check them out. Yeah, deodorant. I'm curious. I didn't want to play that. I'm curious, Nick, if this is my thing. We talked about odor before when we were in the pre-show a little bit. But
Yes.
I find I'm not stinking when I'm out in the sun and in the heat and stuff, but I am finding that the pleasant scent of my Dove for Men deodorant does not linger longer like it used to, and I'm a little challenged now to find the perfect. And the solution was in my son's bathroom, and that is, and I never thought I'd be one of these guys. I threw on some Old Spice.
Ooh.
And the Old Spice, the last time I heard about Old Spice, I think it was Donald Trump uses Old Spice. And you go into the drugstore, and there are 5 million different flavors of Old Spice deodorant that are in there. But I don't know. There might be a reason for that. I don't want to use Axe because that's what like teenagers use. I don't want to use that product. You know. Yes, go ahead.
I am also been a Dove guy forever for my deodorant.
And do you still stand by it?
They were out of it when I went to the store the other day, and
Okay.
I went to Old Spice as well.
There you go.
So
and
I'm following the same path.
You satisfied with your Old Spice?
It's almost a little too strong.
That's
of a
it.
Smell.
But I'm fine because
smell the vanilla.
okay, I'm okay with that. Nick, do you with no I remember when you were an intern, no appreciable body odor.
I have never used a deodorant. I've never needed deodorant.
You have never used a deodorant.
Yeah. So there's a genetic thing. There's a certain gene, and interestingly enough, it means you don't have body odor, and then it also means that your earwax is different. It's like the same gene. It's really weird, but it's very prevalent in the Asian peoples.
Your earwax is. Do you salute every time we mention the Asian thing?
I'm doing
show?
that. Just
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
you know, back in the day, we would have been like ringing
Squid
a bell
Game,
or
salute. Chinese basketball player, salute. That's it. That's Nick's code for people. Every time he says something racist, I will salute. That's it.
not ra- it's
I know
racist.
it's not right. But the earwax thing. Tell me about the earwax. No appreciable odor with earwax or something like that?
So the earwax thing, the texture is different. So I think that, you know, if you had to describe your earwax, like the consistency of like what, like is like boogers, kind of, right?
It is like a waxy substance,
Right.
You know.
So my earwax is still waxy, but it's flaky. It like flakes off. It's not
Really?
like chunks and things like that. So
Because you don't have the sweat to collect it. Probably. It's probably similar to whatever reason we're outputting sweat.
Do you perspire a lot?
I don't sweat that much, but I don't think that has to do with. I mean, I don't think that has to do with the same thing. I don't think it's the Asian thing per se. But you know, back in the day, in the Don and Mike show, there was an incident where someone walked through. I think it was you. So like, walked through the control room, said, "Oh, someone stinks back there. It's probably Nick." And I said, "It can't be me because I don't have body odor."
No
And
body odor.
You guys were like, "This is impossible." So fast forward like 15 minutes, you guys had me outside in the DC heat, like wearing like 4 layers of clothing, doing jumping jacks and different calisthenics for like 30 minutes
To see if and didn't we conclude that you didn't have any
I
appreciable
did not
body
have
odor?
no body odor.
What a blessing!
It
What
doesn't
a
happen.
what a
It actually,
blessing.
I mean, to be honest, like there's a very faint odor that can come through, but
Mhm.
nothing that you could smell like even like a foot or two away. You'd have to literally bury your.
I'm
your
being
nose.
totally honest here when I tell you that I have never ever thought about it until the last 2 or 3 weeks, and the reason I'm thinking about it right now is because I'll be honest. I'm saying I'm honest because I'm so nervous about saying it, but I have to say I believe maybe it's old people stink. That now that you get a little older, as the body begins to break down, that I mean, I really think about that, and I don't know. You know what? I haven't searched it up. I will tonight. I will search old people smell on the internet and find out ages when you flip on over because. No, that's still Old Spice. I'm down with Old
Yeah,
Spice.
but you're
know?
going to be what they call nose blind. You know, we talk about like I worked in the coffee industry. Like part of being a coffee expert is
We never
like,
got to coffee today at all. We got to do that next. We got to do that. Go ahead. You talk about the nose blind.
Well, just the idea that like, you know, in the same sort of way that our brains will kind of erase a humming like you know, light bulb or something like that after you don't hear it, after a while, like your nose will also do that. So you can't. That's why you can't really smell your own breath. Can't smell your own body that well. So
Yeah,
we call that
that's true.
nose blind sometimes.
Oh, I know. I work with a few DJs that were nose blind. That's for
The
sure.
age of 40 is when your smell starts to change and go downhill.
It makes sense. It's a hormonal thing, right?
Wow. Oh, makes me sad. Yeah, the Grim Reaper just standing outside waiting for me. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We got some great great video for you. And then Nick, we're just going to have you back to talk about coffee. I'm sorry. But we'll give you plenty of time. I don't want to abuse the privilege. You know what I mean? Yeah. Time is running out. We now have just a few left of the brand new TMOS Summer Caps, the ultimate accessory for fans who want to show their support while staying cool. It's available in red, white, light blue, or black, ensuring there's a perfect match for everyone. Plus, tickets and merch for the Grand Reunion Las Vegas weekend and new T-shirts that you haven't even seen yet. Looking good. Don't miss the ultra cool TMOS commemorative coin. It commemorates great times and big fun. So, hurry up and support the show you love. Every purchase keeps the laughs coming. Just click store at MikeO'MaraShow.com, the source for all things TMOS, official, authentic, and awesome. Thank you for your support. And remember our motto, yes, I can't believe it's not butter. That's the one for the week. All right, we have our video standing by. There it is. There's Julia. Thank you, Julia. There are pranks all over the internet. We all know that. There are tons of them. I have been sent this video that I'm sure has been out there for many, many years, perhaps many, many decades. It seems like it's old. I have been sent this video more than anyone. Michael, get the dogs in control. Put them in the room or put them somewhere where they're not barking during the whole show, please. Thank you. Anyway, play the. This is a prank where somebody ties a snake to the guy's ankle, and I love this.
Dead tree and let it fall on a neighbor's car.
Tied a snake to his ankle.
Oh, get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here! It's fake! It's fake! It's fake! I'm sorry. I don't like snakes.
I don't like snakes. There he is. He hurt himself bad when he went back into that. I love the guy that's making the video, just cracking up.
Breathe.
Look at it, breathe. That's awesome, isn't it? Fantastic. So, for all those who've sent that to me over the last year or so, thank you very much. I don't know. We got two in a row here, and I'm not sure how legit they are, Nick and Josh. But if this is legit, and I have no evidence that it is, but I have
not
to share it. I hope not. If this is legit, you may want to rethink ramen.
I'm gonna go to the salute. Is it Asian culture reference?
I don't know, but it was not because of Asian culture that I put it on the show. It's because I saw something that was nasty and creepy. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's mites. They're dust mites. They're mites. They're mites all over.
I think it's like a cube of ramen that somebody put like on a floor for 3 days,
something
and then
like
something like that. That's not coming out of the package.
They're not coming out of there like that, straight out of the package.
That's my theory too.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fun to watch because it might gross people up. And for all of you Asian Americans out there, that had nothing to do with race. Moving right along, how about hot sauce?
American ramen.
This guy, if it's legit, I just like the dude. I like the dude, and I like the consumption. If legitimate, I don't know how he can manage it, but just watch what he ingests, ladies and gentlemen.
Jalapeno in some convict's revenge?
It's a jalapeno with hot sauce on it.
A habanero
I like his
and
voice.
some Hellfire Reaper jelly?
Hellfire Reaper jelly and a habanero pepper, and he puts extra on there. And he's Doesn't look like special effects to me.
No. You know, a lot of people
And
lost
a bad
flavor.
guy in some devil's tears.
Tears.
A lot of people lost flavor during COVID. And it's long lasting. So I wonder if that has something to do with it.
He'll feel
Because he
that
seems
coming
to
out
be
for good.
faking the
pain.
The pain. Okay, let's see. This might be it.
And some shit the bed. Hot dog.
Shit the bed hot sauce. There he goes. Uh-huh. I just love that video. Looks legit to me. Looks totally legit. I don't think he put that on the floor with dust mites. I'm not sure. Moving right along here. I can totally relate to this. I'm not sure if Josh or Nick can, but they're they've been in many relationships, as I have. But this to me is something, an exchange that I find very, very similar in the O'Mara household, even though it's a much younger guy than me. Go ahead and roll it.
Good time. Hey, now I'm going golfing.
Oh, no, hold on a second. Hold on. You got to go back
today.
to the beginning of it because he says she's asking to go out. Go ahead and roll that again.
I'm going out with the girls.
Okay, have a good time. Hey, now I'm going golfing.
You didn't say you were going golfing today.
I told you last week I was going today.
Who are you playing with?
Richard, Mo, and Roger.
What course are you playing?
Down the street, Twin Oaks.
Are you gonna drink?
Just one beer.
What time is tea time?
It's 1 o'clock.
Why are you leaving at 11?
Because we're going to practice. We're going to hit them range balls.
What time are you coming back?
Around 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that means more like 8 p.m. Okay, have a good time.
There it is. Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in? It's the,
I
here's
had
my
one of
naked
those.
sexism. What's that?
I had one of those.
You had one of those? Okay.
Yes.
Had being the operative word.
Everyone does.
Everyone. There you go. Just wanted to make sure it was legitimate. Moving right along, ladies and gentlemen. This flying video, for some reason, as soon as I saw this, I thought about John Denver, who was, I think, killed in an ultralight. And I don't want to, there is no spoiler alert because nobody gets killed. But it looks to me like this guy could fall out of the sky and crash in a moment's notice. And what I really liked about it was the GoPro perspective. It's an amazing flying video. So if you want to go flying, we're going to play this for you right now. I think he's going to crash there, right? Crash sounds. And he amps up the engine again.
What's that stick that's just wiggling between his legs?
I don't know, but he seriously, this whole video looks like he's going to crash into the tree line. And you're hearing that crunching sound, and it looks like a Briggs & Stratton lawnmower engine in the front. Okay, that's too short a runway. There's no way he can land there. He's going down. He's going down into the trees, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be horrible. No. Okay, now he's up again. I seriously, this whole video, I thought the guy was going to crash. Now he's waving at somebody down in the tree line. I have no idea why. Where the hell is he going to land? That's too small an area. Is he going to land? No, he's not going to. Oh, he's definitely going into the. There's the landing strip. I guess that's the landing. Look at this. Easy peasy. Bingo. Isn't that a great flying video? I love that. I really love that.
And a smoother landing than many of the flights I've been on.
Yeah, that's for sure. I get these all the time. I get these flying videos because perhaps I want to be a pilot. I watched this little boy 100 times as we end our time with Your Korean Dad. We got a few more videos here, but I wanted to share this because I thought this, for some reason, was something I thought Nick would like because I loved it. I watched this about 1,000 times, these two. Cheered for the wrong team. Isn't that The most adorable video with the kid who cheers when the other team scores a goal, and then he reacts just like his dad. That is
That's
pure
so cute.
sweetness. That's why you have kids. We're going to close with this. We don't need the ageism one. That kid was too obnoxious with that. So I want to share this with you.
And leave with the cute kid.
We don't end with the cute kid. We end with me on the golf course again. Nick, I have a bit of a reputation among some of my playing partners. You were talking about golfing yesterday. This is kind of a golf-themed video, and this is a very quick one of me, usually every other day on the golf course. Take it away. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. There, that's it. We got to get out of here. Thank you. A pleasure. Glad you were all along here. Me on the golf course. Nick, did you enjoy your couple of days with us this week?
I really enjoyed this throwback. It's like 1996 all over again, giving you my free labor.
Oh, yes. Absolutely free labor.
Unpaid again.
Yeah, you can afford it. Anyway, it's Nick is your Korean dad. We wish you nothing but success. You can visit us anytime you would like. Come back and don't be a stranger. And if you ever want to share anything with us, you have an open invitation. And seriously, what a good time it's been rekindling our relationship. I really enjoyed every bit of it.
Really appreciate it, and this has been a great experience. And like I've been saying over and over again, you mean more to me in my life than you can imagine. Like, it's just kind of funny to say, but it's true. It's grown up.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining us. Josh, we will be returning tomorrow. The fun part of the week has officially ended for me, as we will be joined by Mrs. Michael Sean Patrick O'Mara tomorrow. Yes, Carla will be co-hosting with me on tomorrow's show. God help us all, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you tomorrow. For Josh Shiroka and Nick Cho, Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.